Welcome to this explainer. Today we're going to bust one of the absolute biggest marketing myths in the renewable energy world and explore the actual electrical physics of your solar panels. If you've ever felt completely baffled by the numbers your system is generating, you are in exactly the right place.
Look, it's a story we hear literally all the time. You buy this beautiful, shiny 400-watt panel, you carefully mount it up, hook it up to your monitor, and you see numbers that are way, way lower. It is incredibly frustrating, right? Well, today we're validating that frustration and uncovering exactly why this happens. And spoiler alert, your panel probably isn't broken. It's just operating in the real world.
Okay, here's how we're breaking this down today. We'll start with the solar wattage myth, then look at the STC lab illusion and the actual physics of power loss. After that, we'll dive into NOCT real-world ratings, some hidden field hazards, and finally, how to design for the real world.
All right, Section 1, the solar wattage myth. We really need to look at this dangerous assumption that a 400-watt label actually means you're going to get 400 watts of power all day long.
Moving right into Section 2, STC, or the lab illusion. You see, to solve this missing wattage mystery, we first have to understand the environment where that impressive 400-watt number was actually created.
STC stands for Standard Test Conditions. Now let's be clear, STC isn't a lie, and it's not a scam. It's just a highly controlled laboratory baseline. Its main job is strictly so you can compare one brand of panel against another on a totally level playing field. So if one panel says 400 watts and another says 450, STC just guarantees they were tested under the exact same, completely artificial conditions.
So what are those perfect conditions? Well, the lab uses this massive flash of light to simulate an irradiance of 1,000 watts per square meter. But here's where things get kind of funny. They use a 25 degrees Celsius cell temperature. I mean, that is essentially a freezing cold fantasy for a solar panel. Unless your roof is literally in the Arctic, a dark panel baking under the afternoon sun is almost never sitting at a cool 25 degrees.
Which brings us to Section 3, the physics of power loss. Think about it. If the testing lab keeps the cells artificially cool at 25 degrees, how hot does your roof actually get? And more importantly, what does that physical heat do to your electricity?
To really understand the power loss you're seeing, we have to strip it back to the absolute core formula of solar power. Power equals voltage multiplied by current. Watts equal volts times amps. It's that simple. If either your voltage or your current drops, your total power drops with it. Your fancy charge controller can't magically create missing wattage if the raw voltage or current just isn't arriving from the panel in the first place. Here's the harsh physics of reality. As the cell temperature of your panel rises, your voltage decreases. Basically, heat directly kills your voltage. On the flip side, if a cloud passes over or irradiance drops, your current drops significantly. So heat crushes voltage, and a lack of intense sunlight crushes current. You put those two things together, and suddenly it makes total sense why you're losing so much power.
Let's contrast these two environments directly. In the sterile lab at STC, you've got a perfectly cool panel flashed with perfect light. But on your roof? Well, you've got restricted airflow. You have dark shingles trapping heat and radiating it right back up into the underside of the panel. All that trapped heat rockets the cell temperature way beyond that 25-degree lab setting, which directly destroys your panel's voltage and, by extension, your wattage.
All right, Section 4, NOCT, or real-world ratings. Since we now know STC is basically a lab illusion that ignores heat, let's introduce the actual hero metric you should be looking at when you're buying and sizing panels.
Enter NOCT, Nominal Operating Cell Temperature. If you look really closely at the spec sheet on the back of any high-quality solar panel, you're going to see a second set of numbers right next to the STC ones. NOCT strips away that perfect laboratory scenario and injects real-world physics and real-world heat straight into the equation.
Comparing these two side by side proves exactly why NOCT is absolutely crucial for your planning. NOCT drops the simulated sunlight from 1,000 down to 800 watts per square meter, and instead of that impossible 25 degrees cell temperature, NOCT tests at a 20-degree ambient air temperature and even factors in a gentle 1 meter per second breeze to simulate open back mounting. These calculations bring your expectations right back down to earth, giving you a wattage number you might actually see on a normal sunny day.
Section 5, Hidden Hazards and Safety. Now, this isn't just some academic exercise about missing a few watts. Misunderstanding these ratings creates critical and honestly potentially dangerous safety concerns out in the field. Think about it like this. If you design an off-grid system assuming you're going to get STC output all day long, you will inevitably build an undersized array. You'll look at your math and say, hey, I have plenty of power. But in reality, you're going to face chronic battery deficits because your panels just aren't producing the expected watts. And that leads to a nasty chain reaction. Overworked inverters struggling to pull from depleted batteries, excessive cycling that absolutely ruins your battery lifespan, and overheated wiring from a system that is desperately trying to compensate.
And beyond the stress on your system, there are live field hazards. Because panels are generating live DC voltage the literal second sunlight hits them, they are dangerous, even if your grid or inverter is switched off. Never, ever disconnect MC4 connectors under load, because high voltage DC arcing is a massive fire hazard, and it will melt your connectors. Also, remember the physics we just talked about. The backside of these panels and the mounting hardware can become extreme thermal risks in the midday heat. So please, always wear proper gloves.
Finally, we reach Section 6, Designing for the Real World. Let's see how all of this builds into a safe, truly reliable methodology for your next solar setup.
A realistic professional system design means you have to step away from those optimistic marketing expectations. Step 1. Always estimate your baseline using NOCT ratings, not STC. Step 2. Mathematically factor in real-world thermal derating and seasonal changes in the sun's angle. And Step 3, account for real-world resistance. You're going to lose power through long wiring runs, dust on the glass, shading from nearby trees, and just the basic operating efficiency losses of your charge controller.
So the most crucial point to take away from this entire explainer is the vast difference between theoretical solar power and real-world solar engineering. When you design using realistic expectations, your batteries are going to stay happily charged, your inverters won't burn out, and you'll actually have the reliable power you need when the grid goes down.
Take a second and consider your own system setup right now. Is trapped heat quietly stealing your power while you're out there blaming the manufacturer? We really want to hear from you. What is the absolute highest real-world wattage you've ever actually measured compared to the shiny STC label on the box? Because at the end of the day, the laws of physics don't care about marketing materials. Collect your data, understand the heat, and design a truly bulletproof array next time. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.